Quote, "These signs shall follow them that believe." It is what is known as a future indicative statement, meaning it is describing what will accompany the spread of the gospel through believers, not a checklist of imperatives. You must cast out demons. You must speak with new tongues, in other words. It's not an imperative command. And so if we treat the clause about tongues as an imperative command that every believer must obey, then consistency and proper hermeneutics demand that we treat the rest of the list the same way. Every believer must cast out demons, must take up serpents, must drink deadly poison without harm, and must lay hands on the sick and they must recover. Yet we do not see faithful believers routinely testing Yahweh by handling venomous snakes and drinking poison as a sign of their faith. Now, we have all seen probably the documentaries where they investigate those who handle snakes and drink poison. In fact, there are at least 2 churches within 30 minutes of my current location. And we view that as foolishness, and rightfully so. And even many who believe and practice speaking in tongues would also condemn such practices as heretical and testing Yahweh. And even Yeshua himself refused to test Yahweh in a similar way, in a similar manner during his temptation, as seen in Matthew chapter 4, verses 5 through 7. And so these signs, they authenticate the message in specific contexts, especially in the early spread of the gospel, but they are not prescriptive requirements for every individual believer in every generation. And so to present this text as an imperative command, it's dangerous, as already mentioned and demonstrated by those who attempt to drink poison and handle snakes as a, quote, sign or a demonstration of their faith.